morning. Come get ready with me. Today we're going to talk about going through a C-section and after having three vaginal deliveries, having to do a C-section. I have 3 of my own kids, and then I was a surrogate twice, so I've been pregnant 5 times. And with all 3 of my kids, I did vaginal deliveries. My daughter, my firstborn, was induction, and then my other 2 were natural. No induction, no epidural, all natural. And then for the surrogacy journeys, I had C-section. So the first one was I was pregnant with twins for an amazing couple from France, and I honestly think I could have pushed them out. I didn't advocate for myself, and the doctor was pushing for the C-section. I don't know, he was saying that the boy was up higher, and so he was thinking that I would have to do an emergency C-section after pushing out the little girl. But I honestly think I could have done both. But regardless, it is what it is. I had a C-section. When I found out that, the doctor was pretty sure I would need a C-section, I was like, what? I was freaking out a little bit about it, and I didn't want to have a C-section. I didn't want to be cut open. I don't know, and then you hear, like, if I were to be pregnant again, I would always have to have a C-section. Now I know that you are able to do a VBAC, but, all the circumstances have to be right. A VBAC is not as common, still, even today. It is possible and it happens, but it's still not as common. Once you have a C-section, you're at a higher chance to have another C-section. So, coming to terms with all of that, and, in the end, the safety of the kids and the safety of myself for my kids was the most important thing. So if the C-section was going to keep us safe, then that's what I was going to do, and I was going to just buck up and make it happen. But it was hard to come to terms with it initially. I was really sad. But it was C-section day. Everything was scheduled. The good thing about the C-section is it was scheduled, so the parents were able to get here, and they had a set time of when to get to the hospital. It was more organized, which was really cool. And that is a plus to C-section, is that for people who need control and organization in their life, a C-section or a planned induction is the way to go. Sorry, I'm covering my face when I curl my hair. I apologize. And then, okay, so it's C-section day. The parents are here, and you arrive. I think I arrived 2 hours before the actual time. I'm trying not to cover my face. I'm so sorry, but I have to do a special little turn. Yeah, and we did the C-section. You get one support person. The hospital I went to was pretty great as far as with the parents. They allowed the parents to be in the doorway of the operating room, and they opened up the second operating room so that as soon as the babies came out, they went in a different room with the parents. They were really amazing. The way they did that for the parents. So we had the C-section. The part that hurts of the C-section, the only part that hurts obviously, is when they put the spinal in. It's similar to the epidural. It goes through the spine and it completely like numbs everything from the waist down. And so like you feel them, you don't feel them cutting, you don't feel them like opening up or pulling, but you feel like a movement. Like you feel, it's weird. It's so weird. Like you feel, I don't know, it feels like someone's touching and you can feel like movement and kind of like tug, but it doesn't hurt. There's no pain. So it's kind of weird. And then, so I'm laying there and feeling all that stuff happening. And then the baby girl came out first and she cried, and the guys were like, the parents were just bawling. They were just, you know, they got to hear their baby being born, and that part was cool. It was the best moment. It was the best moment of the journey, is seeing their reaction to their baby coming into this world. Anyway, so the C-section, we do the cut open business, and I'm there. You're in recovery for about an hour after. Want to make sure the bleeding's okay and all that stuff. And then you're wheeled into your room, just like with, you know, vaginal deliveries, you're in your room. You do normally have to stay a little bit longer with C-section because they have to monitor your healing, because you were just cut open. So it's a little bit, you are in the hospital a little bit longer. And you're itchy. You're so itchy. The anesthesia that they give you, it causes so much itch. You're so itchy. I wanted to like scratch my face off. I was just so itchy everywhere. It's the worst part of a C-section, I will say, in my opinion, is the itchiness. I was so itchy. And then they give you this band that you wrap around yourself, and it kind of holds everything in, and it gives you that support you need because your incision is, you know, it's kind of, the muscle's been cut into, so it's a little bit weaker. So that band really helps give you that support, and it's amazing. It truly saved my life afterwards. My first C-section, I healed really well. The cut was really small, no scar tissue. It was so great. But I also, after that one, I took it easy, and I followed the doctor's instructions, and I was careful, and I gave myself that pelvic rest, and I didn't do any lifting or anything like that, and I healed so well. And then I had another surrogate baby, and I had to have another C-section. For me, it was because it was a little bit less than 2 years. It was like 2 months shy of 2 years. And the hospital and the doctor that I delivered at did not allow you to do a VBAC if it was less than 2 years. So I had to have another C-section. This time, I started having contractions and going into labor before the scheduled C-section, like a day or two before. So I had to like wait it out because I had eaten. And so I had to like just have the contractions for like 6 hours for the food to pass through me, because they didn't want to put me on anesthesia because I had eaten. And so I had to wait like 6 hours and just essentially go through some labor before I didn't even get the benefit of skipping labor with this second C-section. And so we did that. Sorry, I needed to separate my hair. So we I waited 6 hours. I had labor for 6 hours. And then when the food had all passed, they took me back to do the C-section. Again, the parents got to be there because we kind of already knew the date of when the C-section was going to be there, and they got there a couple weeks before. And then we did the C-section again. You know, you have that spinal shot, the spinal in your back. You don't feel anything except for like tugging or movement. Baby's born, parents are in love, and you're like, this is why I did this. And because I had such a good healing with the last C-section, I was like, okay, let's do it. Like, but at the time of this C-section, we were moving up to Sacramento. And so I delivered the baby in April, and we were expected to be up in Sacramento by June 1st. So I still had a lot of moving and packing to do. And so I did not take that time to rest. I did not follow the doctor's orders, and I did lifting, and I just didn't give myself time to heal because I had life commitments, and I have quite a bit of scar tissue now because of it. So I do recommend for you to give yourself time to heal. Whether you have a C-section or you have a vaginal delivery, give yourself time to heal. Time to let your body heal, let your mind heal. You're losing hormones exponentially after birth, and if, especially in surrogacy, if you're not continuing, if you're not pumping, you're not producing the oxytocin that your body needs to cramp up and help the uterus go back to size. It's not giving you the oxytocin that you need to it's like that love hormone, you know. So you're hurting and you're sad, you know. Give yourself time to heal. Give yourself time. Okay, so basically, a C-section isn't horrible, okay? It seems scary, and if you have to have one, you know, it may not be ideal, but it's not as bad as you think. The healing process is not as bad as you think. With, you know, you feel well enough to pack up a whole house, but don't let yourself heal. Give yourself that room, that grace, and then lean. If you are doing surrogacy, lean on your support team. Lean on your, you know, love on your kids. Pump. I do recommend pumping and helping your body get back to your uterus get back to that shape it was before the pregnancy, and oxytocin helps that. So I do recommend pumping because your body will continue to produce that oxytocin. And I think just the scar is not horrible. It's the scar tissue. If you get scar tissue that kind of gives you like this speed bump by the scar, and that's not cute. But what I did, you know, giving the gift of parenthood, it's worth the scar. I know that those parents are forever grateful to me, and I know how much they love their little ones, and I was a part of them becoming parents, you know, and had a C-section. And it wasn't what I wanted. And I was sad and scared. And now I'm scarred. But I don't regret it.